Hi everyone, welcome back to Stow Active. So after quite a difficult session yesterday in terms of just intensity, what we're going to do is we're going to reduce the intensity today and we're going to focus on a few kind of specific movements based around plyometrics. So the principle of plyometrics is basically we're looking for maximum explosive exercise with quite a lot of rest in between, okay? So the idea of this video is to take you through 5 exercises that you can try at home, and then once you've seen me demonstrate them and you've looked at the kind of how it's supposed to look like, and I'll talk you through a few specifics of how we should feel when we're moving around the exercise and kind of some cues and what they're supposed to look like, then you can then add them into your like sort of daily repertoire. So either if you're out running a lot, then it might be something that like once you've finished a run, or maybe on a different day when you're having a rest day from a run, you can try these exercises, because what they're going to do is they're going to build up something called tendon stiffness, which is going to improve the elasticity in that joint, in our like ankles essentially, and help us run faster, but also just improve the resilience and the force that those muscles in our lower legs, our calves, quads, hamstrings, the ones that work when we're running, it's going to improve the force capacity that those are able to take, and that's going to also help us run or get better at running. So the first exercise we're going to do is something called ankling. Okay, now this is a really difficult exercise to kind of get, but once you get it, it's really, really beneficial for developing our Achilles tendon, so this tendon at the bottom of your ankle. And what we want to do is we want to strengthen it to the point where it's kind of like a really, really tight elastic band. And the tighter that band is, the better, the more response we're going to get when our foot hits the floor, especially when we're running. So I want you to try and engage everything. So I'm going to stand up really nice and tight and tall, and I'm going to keep my legs as straight as possible. So I don't want any bend in the knee, and all I want you to do to start with is just walk, and all you're doing is lifting your toes off the floor and pushing them into the floor. So the idea is I'm staying really tall, my legs are staying as straight as possible, as in like no bend at the knee, and I'm trying to force my toes into the floor. Okay, you will feel that this muscle here, your tibialis anterior, will start to fire, start to work. That is perfect, that's what we want. That means that we're really flicking our toes into the floor. So that's our starting point. Nice and tall, nice and stable, and we're just working through that movement. Once you have got that movement, I want you to start moving a little bit quicker. So I'm going to look for a bounce. So we're going to stand up nice and straight, and we're going to start moving nice and quickly, okay? Maximum amount of time you're going to spend on this is about 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, so I'm not looking for you to do this for 3 minutes to an hour. It is literally 15 seconds of work and then give it a little rest. Okay, have a little breath, maybe take 30 seconds off. And then we're working on that movement again. Okay, it's going to feel really weird. It's going to feel really funny, but this is going to really help improve the resilience and the stiffness of our lower legs. And I want you to really fire. So I want to hear as your toes hit the floor. I want to really, really hear that sound. So you're trying to maximize that intensity. So stand up nice and straight. Engage your abdominals, shoulders up, chin up. Engage. Legs stay straight. And really fire. Okay, so that's our first exercise. That is called ankling. So I'm looking for really good extension at that ankle, and that's going to help improve our lower limb stability. Okay, the next one's very similar, but it's a two-footed one. So it's called a stiff leg pogo. So I'm literally just bouncing up and down. Okay, the higher you can get off the floor, the better. So you're going to do about 5 repetitions, and I want you to gradually build until on the 5th, you're trying to put your head in the ceiling. Exactly the same setup. Engage through my abdominals, keep my shoulders up, chin up, okay? So I'm staying as stiff and as solid as possible. Imagine you're in a plank position, okay? So you're trying to hold that straight position through there. So I'm fully engaged. And we're trying to really maximize that height. Stay stiff. Try not to bend your knees as much as possible, and really fire yourself up. And as you can hear, just from like 5 repetitions, you get a little bit out of breath. So let your ankles relax, you know. Again, like I said, we're not looking to this is not a high intensity interval session. This is about trying to maximize the performance of individual movement patterns. So engage, think of your 5. Legs stay nice and straight, stay upright. And rest. So I'm really trying to force that movement up, and I'm trying to get as high as you can. If you want to, film yourself, watch it back, and you can see how high you're getting off the floor. You might think, oh, I'm traveling miles, and then you watch it back and you think, actually, I've got 2 inches off the floor. Okay, so that's something to work on, but it's good to have a visual cue, a visual representation of what you're doing. Moving on, the next one is a single leg one. So single leg, stiff leg pogo, okay? So exactly the same. Stay nice and straight. Try and minimize that. So we're just doing 5 on each side. Keep that tension. Keep that leg nice and straight. You'll find, because we're on one leg now, you will get flexion at the knee. Try and minimize that as much as possible, but just keep an eye on it, make a note of it. And try and go as high as you can. Building up through those 5 reps. Nice. Our next one is very simple. It's just a squat jump, okay? And we're going to work on 5 repetitions again. So this isn't like how we would do our squats where we just work through the movement. We're looking at individual, boom, jump, reset, jump, reset, jump, reset for 5 reps. So I'm not looking to jump, go down, jump, okay? So set and jump. Try and control that landing as well. That's really important. So my arms come back as I jump through. So I'm trying to maximize that height again. These exercises are maximum force, maximum intensity. So I'm not looking for you to do 150 squat jumps. We are going to do 4 or 5 sets of 5, okay, with 30 seconds, a minute rest in between. So if you're doing it with a friend or with a sibling or a parent, you know, a doctor, kind of you go, I go, then we chat a little bit, we rest. You go, then I go, we chat a little bit and rest, okay? Because we're trying to really maximize that intensity so that each repetition is perfect. Okay, ready? That's 1. 2. 3. Try and get your head through the ceiling. And rest. Perfect. So those are our squat jumps. Our next one is a lunge jump. So I'll show you from the side. So we're just focusing on the drop, so it's the deceleration, it's the control as we fall into a lunge position. So this is really important, again, for any kind of sports activity, but just sort of general resilience of our muscles. So I'm going to stand feet shoulder width apart, feet together, and I'm just going to go and drop into a lunge. And just hold and control. And once you get nice and confident, we can just jump from one to the other. Until we've done 5 on each leg. So you're almost falling into that squat position and trying to catch and decelerate in a controlled and organized fashion. Okay, so it's not boom, it's not just moving. It's not just moving, it's not just getting through the exercises, it's about each individual exercise being perfect. So, like I said, exactly the same as before. Have a little rest, grab a drink, have a little chat with someone. Think about how you're moving and how that's going to improve through these exercises. So, bang, decelerate through. Lost that one. See how my knee came all the way down? I wasn't controlled, I wasn't focused. So we're looking for 5 on each leg. The last exercise is kind of like a move on from all of these other ones. And it's a really difficult one. So I'm going to demonstrate on the floor. However, if you have a raised surface, which we'll do right at the end, like a chair or your sofa or a raised wall, we can put our back foot up and we can focus on our cycles. Okay, so it's a lunge position, but I'm going to cycle my front leg as if I was running. So when I'm running, my knee comes up and then my foot comes down and hits the floor. That is what we're looking for, but we're going to do it from a lunge position. So arms are nice and relaxed, shoulders up. And I'm looking for speed through. So my heel wants to sort of come up and almost hit my bum at the back and then come back into that lunge position. Okay? And then the same on the other leg. So I'm trying to sweep it up, kick it underneath me, and then accelerate it out in front. Okay, this is a really tough exercise, and like I said, you can hear my heart rate's raised already, just from like 3 or 4 repetitions of that. So if you have a chair or something that has a slightly raised surface, just like this, we can prop our back foot up. So I'll just make sure I'm in shot. I'm going to bring my foot into here, just so it's resting on the chair. And then I'm going to cycle my foot through. You probably don't need more than 3 to 5 repetitions of this exercise. Super tough. And it's really good at honing those skills and that flexion, that contraction of our hamstrings to pull our foot back and control that running motion. So we'll go one more time through it. Prop that back foot up. Weight goes onto your front foot. So this is our Bulgarian split squats, what we were focusing on before. This is a quicker version of that. Okay? And this is when it starts becoming really perfect for you know, developing athleticism and improving in our sports performance. So we're really controlling and working through that motion. Okay, so we've gone through ankling, 2 types of stiff leg pogo, 2 foot and single foot. Our squat jumps, our lunge jumps, and into our lunge cycles either with our back foot on the floor or back foot raised, okay? Watch this video again, look at the movement patterns, and try and just start using them. You know, if you've got 15 minutes in your bedroom, in your living room, 15 minutes, and you want to work on improving speed, improving agility, and improving just general athletic performance, there it is. 5 exercises for you.